thank you for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. I am back. Kim is back. We have our cocktails. You don't have a cocktail yet. David!
I have a cocktail that's coming to me as we speak.
David!
What do you have in your cup?
Bring your arm in.
I have my same. My husband was going to make me an old fashioned, and I was like, no, I want my stiff Maduro Mule. I honestly, I'm not deviating because I can make it as stiff as I can handle. What is it?
Drink some.
I'm being told not to spill it on the computer. Okay.
Okay, what is it?
Is it a kamikaze?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, Maduro Mule and Kamikaze. It's
a Maduro Mule and a kamikaze.
Kimmy.
That's right.
It's not a Kimma.
Kimikaze.
A Kimikaze. Whatever, David.
Corrections.
Get off my butt. You know what? We're drinking over here, David.
Standard.
After the week we've had, David, get off our ass, all right? Thank you for joining us on the Nikki Maduro Show. It's been a week. Thank you all for being here. I want to say thank you, by the way, to some new people that have subscribed. Janice is a new Patreon subscriber.
Yay,
thanks to Rita,
Janice,
who has donated to our PayPal. We are 100% crowdfunded, you guys. So thank you to everybody that donates. Also, the Red Jack Saloon, Lori Above the Bar, and Mark. Go if you are in San Francisco, visit them. The Red Jack Saloon is a great bar, and these are where you can get our drinks. By the way, the Martini for the Mark Thompson Show, the Maduro Mule is there, and the Kimikaze is there as well. And they're right there. It's our favorite beverages. Go to the Red Jack Saloon. It is literally the best bar ever. You'll get a good drink at a great price. So, and they're huge supporters of the show. So go there as well. And so, yeah. And Dan and everybody that's always supported the show, we love you guys so very much. And thank you all for being here. And give the show a thumbs up. That's another way of supporting the show as well. And the super chats are live as well. Oh my God. Is all I can say every time we start this show.
What are you saying? You don't want to go to the resort of the Middle East, the Mediterranean of the Riviera of the Middle East? I mean, are you not booking your room at the Trump Tower Gaza?
Oh, just
Gaza,
and
Mara Gaza? No?
Mara Gaza. Oh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
I saw that. I can't take credit for it. I forget what website I saw it on.
Mara Gaza. Yeah, the shit that comes out of this guy's mouth. If it wasn't so absolutely terrifying because he's serious, right? It is so obviously what we're talking about, and everybody that watches the show should know, taking over Gaza, right? What happened to America first, by the way, right? Wasn't it that we were staying out of wars, right?
It's not just a takeover. It would be an owner. She said an ownership.
Oh, we're owning it now. We're clearing it out because it's uninhabitable.
Yeah, it's another satellite of America, and in removing the 2 million people who call that
just shoot for a little bit, right? Yeah,
he's not talking about a temporary relocation. He said permanently relocate 2 million Palestinian peoples who
but they don't have bathrooms.
Land their home. Land, by the way, that people have been fighting over for hundreds of years. That's a great place to insert ourselves. What could go wrong there?
Exactly. But I love how he's like, but they don't have sanitation. They're not going to want to be there. As if this is the number one reason why as if the Palestinians are going to look around and be like, there's no toilets here. I guess this land we've been fighting over, we're out. You know what I mean? Like, give me a freaking break over here. I'm insulted by his audacity, but not surprised. And not only that, absolutely right, Gordon. It is totally a distraction. I don't think he's actually serious. And this is the thing that bothers me. And as we're talking about all of these things, it is squirrel. And we know that he does this. What are we supposed to be focusing on? And I really do think it's Elon Musk. It is, what is he doing? This special government employee, right? Supposedly he's only supposed to be working for 130 days or less within a year. That is the rule. I mean, not the rules matter under a Trump administration, but whatever, of a special government employee. So the clock is a ticking for Elon Musk, and he is making every second freaking count. And I honestly think we cannot take our eye off the ball of Elon Musk. There is no oversight over this guy at all. Now, am I happy that there seems to be at least judges that are like, whoa, halting sort of like the freezes and the questions about the Treasury payment? Did you also see, by the way, I was also noticing this story about that 20-something guy, this Marco Elez, a former SpaceX Starlink ex-engineer, who apparently was also granted access to the Treasury payment system. Apparently, he's quit the team because he was linked to a racist Twitter account. 25 years old. He resigned yesterday.
I'm surprised that bothers Elon Musk and company. That seems to be who they all are, right?
Yeah. According to the Wall Street Journal, asked the White House about this connection, if any, with problematic posts on X. It stems from a C programming themed Twitter handle called Null PTR that, according to the Wall Street Journal, had advocated for a eugenic immigration policy, called for the repealing of the Civil Rights Act, and urged Silicon Valley to normalize Indian hate. Okay. Null PTR was quoted as adding, "You could not pay me to marry outside my ethnicity." Now, the account, which apparently used to be named Marco Elez, was deleted in December. Marco Elez continues to exist on Twitter as a separate account. Null PTR earlier claimed to be an employee at SpaceX and Starlink, previously worked at X, and he says Null PTR reportedly said in July, "Just for the record, I was racist before it was cool." Now, according to apparently X and whatever, he has quit the team after he was linked to that account. I'm surprised. I'm surprised that any of them have any shame.
How old is he? 20 years old?
25. 25 years old.
And they're dumb. They're all young and dumb.
But they were in our Treasury payment system. They were in our system.
They might be good at tech, right? They might be great with a computer, but they're not fully baked yet, these people.
But what are they doing with this kind of access is my question. Like, what in the holy hell is going on right now? And the thing that boggles my mind is, listen to this. This is White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt. Now, I get it. She's a spokeshole. She's young. She's blonde. What was it? The grocery pump. She's being teased about this grocery pump slip up, which she's getting teased about, but whatever. People make slip ups. She's obviously annoying the living crap out of me because she's just going to carry the weight of Trump. But here she is asked straight up, about Elon Musk and who's watching over him. And this is actually what she said to that question.
You talked a bit about DOGE. Elon Musk is currently a, quote, special government employee who also owns companies that have billions of dollars in federal contracts. You said earlier this week that he has abided by all applicable federal laws, but what steps is the Trump administration taking to address that conflict of interest?
The president was already asked and answered this question this week, and he said if Elon Musk comes across a conflict of interest with the contracts and the funding that DOGE is overseeing, that Elon will excuse himself from those contracts. And he has, again, abided by all applicable laws. In the back left, go ahead.
I mean, that makes zero sense. Elon Musk gets to decide for himself whether or not he thinks that there's a conflict. That's not how it works, sweetie. That is not how it's supposed to work. You don't let people with their own interests decide whether or not there's a conflict of interest. In what way does that make sense? How does that in any way make sense?
It seems like Elon Musk has a lot of power right now.
Why? And who elected this asshole? And that's what I don't get. He bought Trump. He bought the presidency.
That's right.
He is literally the shadow president. It's not even a shadow president. Everyone's looking around. It's like, obviously, this is who's running the country right now. It's absolutely right in front of our face. There's no oversight over this guy. Congress is doing literally nothing right now. And I was watching this interview with Bernie Sanders last night. And he's like, seriously, he's like, I have no problem. And Bernie's right. There's no problem with going after government waste. He was talking defense spending. I have no problem with it either. But it's the way in which it's being done. You can't do it this way. There has to be congressional approval. There has to be some sort of system in place where we know where the cuts are going.
Why does there have to be? I mean, you would think, does it have to be because that's the American system of government and the Constitution dictates that that's the way we run things? Is that why it has to be, Nikki? No, I guess we only have to have a constitution, laws, and rules if they're enforceable. And if no one's willing to enforce the rules, then the rules don't matter.
I don't. And again, I keep screaming and screaming, where is Congress? And what? This is what frustrates me again. And I know I say this all of the time when people say, you guys have Trump derangement syndrome. I want to yell back, you guys are such fucking sheep. What the hell is wrong with you? This is not how you run a country.
That's right.
It's crazy. All we're asking for is for you guys to wake up. I have no problem with cutting government spending. You know, all of the things that you guys are saying you want to fix, fine, but at least apply it to your candidate as well. That's all I'm asking for. You know, when they're talking, what about Biden? Fine. I've said it so many times. If he does something wrong, investigate it. Have evidence, please. Right? Like not conspiracy, not hearsay, evidence, prove it, fine. Throw his ass in jail then. I don't care. That's called being a normal, rational person. But it's like they don't want to do that.
We don't have a government full of normal, rational people. We have a government full of very scared people who are afraid to be primaried, who are bending at the knee, shaking and quivering that they'll still have a job because for whatever reason, they fear Trump. But the MAGA-ites around the country maybe are starting to see, what did we do?
Well, I hope so. Lay it on me. Lay it on me, please. Make me feel better.
There's a new poll.
Okay.
It's done by the Economist YouGov poll.
Okay.
All right. And in the days after the presidential election, 47% of Republicans that were asked this question said they wanted Musk to have a lot of influence in the Trump administration. So it was 47% a lot of influence, 29% a little, and 12% none. That's what Republicans said. The same questions were just asked, I think it was yesterday. Republicans who say they want Musk to have a lot of influence, that number is now at 26%, down from 47%. 43% said they want a little, and 17% now say they want him to have none. I hope Republicans are looking at what's happening, at his fingers now twisted up and tangled up in American money, in the Treasury, in your personal data, potentially your Social Security affected, your Medicare affected, all of these things that are pivotal to American life. I hope people are looking at this and going, uh-oh, what did we do? And it seems like if you look at that poll, it seems like more and more people are seeing the light and realizing, oh, crap.
Well, and again, I don't know why they don't want to have any oversight. I keep saying the same thing. He wasn't elected. And if you don't want oversight, answer the question of why, right? Like, why not? What is the problem with it? Why not ask questions? I mean, this is, you're talking about, let's talk about USAID, right? This is a huge program involving impacting millions of people. Do you not think that questions should be asked? Time should be taken. There was this, I don't know if you saw this video of a screaming match was happening. This was on the House Oversight Committee. They were debating, it's not happening. They were debating subpoenaing Elon Musk to answer questions. Here's a little bit of the video of this on ABC News. Here we go.
The Oversight Committee furious with Elon Musk, attempting to subpoena him to testify about his cutting and slashing as he tries to reshape the federal government. Republican James Comer tried to move business along, but Democrats refused.
I move that the committee subpoena Elon Musk to come before it as a witness at the earliest possible moment.
The motion is not debatable, as many
Point of order, Mr.
are in
Chairman.
favor of tabling. Point of order, state your point.
Mr. Chairman, I think it's outrageous that this committee will not even entertain a motion.
No, you state your.
Chairman, that's not a point of order.
Somebody
You know,
who's breaking
I
the law
agree.
and
Point of order.
dismantling our federal agencies.
So
Yeah, she was pissed off. I mean, and she was like looking at them and basically saying the same thing that I'm saying. Why not? Why not have him sit here and answer questions? It seems like the rational thing to do. But I think that just like the January 6th committee, it's like they want to plug their ears and they don't want to hear the answers to the questions because there's going to be a lot more questions that they don't want to hear the answers to. And that's frightening when we're talking about something like this.
We're just a matter of weeks into this thing. I mean, I don't know if all 4 years is going to be like this. Or will be like this. I don't know, but I'm hoping that we're just getting the crap out of the way at the beginning, and then we'll settle into some kind of like every day isn't something wild and crazy and nonsensical.
I doubt it. CNN is now reporting that labor groups are suing to halt the Trump administration dismantling USAID. They're saying, Trump is saying they want fewer than 300 agency employees to be retained. I mean, that's insane. That is an insane kind of, I don't even know if that's legal. I mean, isn't there some sort of law about notification? I know it I mean, I don't know if it's around the world that you need to notify, but I mean, cutting something like that, even these buyouts, I know they've extended the buyout. They've paused it, I think, till Monday or whatever. And we talked about this last week, just the impact of who accepts the buyout and who doesn't, and the logistics involved in that, and any sort of thought process. It's as if it's so arbitrary. He's running our country arbitrarily. Like, oh, whatever. I'm just going to do this and I'm just going to do that. And I'm just going to cut here and I'm just going to cut there. And he's running it like a business, but we're not a business. These are people's jobs and careers. You're putting them on the unemployment line. Your unemployment numbers as well, Mr. Trump. What are these people supposed to do?
What about,
I don't understand.
What about institutional knowledge? Even if you were running a business, you would not want all of your most knowledgeable, most productive workers to all exit at the same time. You wouldn't want that, because all of the people who know what's up and who know what needs to be done will be checking out. The people who've been there the longest, supposedly,
exactly.
right? So it makes no sense even from a business perspective.
The Senate has also voted just this evening to confirm Russ, is it Vogt as the director of the Office of Management and Budget.
We know that he is the author of Project 2025.
Exactly. And he thought the election, of course, was rigged. There was, there was a marathon of speeches by Democrats overnight to protest the nomination. But of course, he was confirmed on party lines. Democrats have also argued that the OMB's memo freezing federal funding last month, which was eventually rescinded, was a warning sign of how the office will operate with him in charge. And he's thought to be a key player in implementing Trump's agenda. And he's the 13th nominee confirmed since Trump took office.
We unlocked the prison doors, the cells, and we said, you know what? You guys be in charge. Let's see if you can do it better than the grown-ups. Go ahead. Go ahead, criminals.
Yeah.
Give us what you got.
Trump's going to hold a private dinner with Republican senators at Mar-a-Lago tomorrow. Obviously, he's going to be talking about cabinet nominees and his agenda. Apparently, this is the National Republican Senatorial Committee's annual winter meeting. I don't know. Are there any good Republicans? I always mention, we were talking about, Susan Collins and such. Is there anybody that's going to pull Trump aside and be like, man, Like
Nothing to
maybe
listen to. The people like Liz Cheney,
are
who put
gone.
country
They're
before
gone.
party, already stood up and shot their shot. Already
They're
stood up and
gone.
said, what's happening here is wrong. We should have listened to them at that time. Did you hear about the CIA email? This is
Hmm.
crazy. The
Hmm.
CIA sent an unclassified email with the names, CIA, the names of everyone
Wow.
hired at the agency over the last 2 years, trying to get them to comply with an executive order signed by Trump last month. It lists the first names and the first names and the first initials of the last names of all employees who are on probation. Many of them probation because they were hired recently.
Right.
Many of those included in the list were young analysts whose roles focus on China. The Democratic lawmakers, like Senator Mark Warner from Virginia, are saying, he's the vice chair of the Senate Intelligence Committee, saying this is a disastrous national security development. People are saying, you are worried about Hillary Clinton's emails?
Thank
You are
you.
unveiling classified information, putting people's lives at risk, CIA
Thank you.
employees,
Mhm.
because they're not thinking, because they're stupid, because they put people in there with no experience, who are not thinking clearly, who are not used to protocols. So it's more important that they acquiesce to Trump's demands rather than be named in the world? Really?
Exactly. Exactly. Thank you to Ren donating $20 to the show. Thank you, Ren. We're sending this along to you too before he who shall not be named and the boys take it. Thank you, my friends. Thank you, thank you, thank you for the donation. Yeah, I know. It's just crazy. I know, Ricky. Nikki, you're having that dream again about Republicans doing something well. I know. I have to believe, Ricky, and this is the naive person in me, that there have to be Republicans that still believe in the Constitution. That there have to be Republicans that actually believe in the Constitution. There
You
have to
want that
be.
because you think that's what we have in common. You think we have in common as Americans, regardless of how we feel about trans people or how we feel about pick an issue, that
Right.
at our very base and core, we all love America and want it to succeed and believe, if you love America, that you love the Constitution, right?
Wow.
We all believe in the United States Constitution. That's what makes us Americans. That's what brings us together at the end of the day, after something like 9/11, after some horrible tragedy, when we, regroup as Americans. That's our common goal, our common thing we
Yeah.
have in common. And turns out it's not true.
No.
The MAGA people, they don't love the Constitution. They love Trump.
They love Trump.
There's a big difference.
And I just don't think they even I feel like they think that they know the Constitution, but they only know it when it applies to what they support. Does that make sense? Like, I want the Constitution when it benefits me, but not when it benefits anybody else.
It's not a pick and choose. It's not a buffet.
Right. Exactly.
Constitution is the Constitution. You don't get to pick it's not like the Catholic religion. You don't get to pick the parts that apply to you.
Yeah,
No.
exactly. All right. What do we have here?
We have here something that horrifies me. So I read this news story earlier that at this national prayer breakfast that happened this morning, Trump said we need to have a new task force because there are people that are anti-Christian, and we need to have basically a holy roller task force to make sure that Christians aren't being somehow I don't know,
targeted,
or something in all of our, whether it's police or government or all of our education, whatever, that we uphold our Christian ideals.
Oh, is this like we need to bring the 10 Commandments into the schools kind of stuff, or what is this?
This is I don't know if it's a Project 2025 thing, but here's what he had to say.
Okay.
From the very beginning of our republic, America has always been a nation founded by people of faith and strengthened by the power of prayer and united by 4 simple but very beautiful words: in God we trust.
He doesn't believe.
And you all know there was a movement to get that out. I said, no, I don't bring it up. Don't bring it up. I don't want to hear it.
He's so full of shit. I
We
swear to
don't want
God.
that, because we shouldn't be mentioning God. There was a very strong movement Just like they don't want to say Merry Christmas, but now they say
He's
it.
so
And then
full
when
of
it comes
shit.
to
I mean,
Shut
really?
up.
part of my
I guess
campaign,
this
never
works
say
with the
Merry
base.
Christmas. Well, now they do
Ugh.
it again.
I think normal people see through this
But we,
BS.
He's so stupid.
I don't know if you've been watching, but we got rid of woke over the last 2 weeks. Woke is gonzo.
He's so stupid. He's so dumb. I swear.
Despite the other side stealing
make fun of him
hundreds
like
of
Mystery
millions
Science
of
Theater
dollars to
3000?
promote woke. Did you see what happened yesterday?
I don't
where
know.
they
Did
found
you? Did you
hundreds
see?
of millions of dollars of money was fraudulently given to newspapers and
Oh, we have to talk about this.
Politico.
We have to talk about this
I don't
next.
know, they're here. Good. I hope you're enjoying your breakfast. No,
We have
they
to talk about this
gave
next.
money to all this out of U.S. aid, right? USAID.
It's not true. It's
It
so
came
true.
out hundreds of just tremendous amounts of money, had nothing to do with anything. This
He
is a
just
terrible
lies.
thing that
Let me know when you want me
was
to pause or you've had
experienced, but
Okay,
enough.
pause it.
catching them left
I can
and
Okay.
skip
right.
around over and over again.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so this whole thing, it's been making the rounds, and I've been arguing with this old friend of ours online about this. Okay, so if you haven't heard the thing about
Oh, no.
Politico, okay, so Politico is in the crossfires. He's spreading this thing.
Politico,
About-
by the way, is not, they don't lean one way or another. They're a factual political publication.
Right. But what he's talking about is it's kind of an offshoot of Politico. It's called Politico Pro, okay?
Mhm.
And it's like a news source for government agencies that like gives them about like legislation and stuff like that. It educates them about all the stuff that's going on, you know, about laws and legislation and stuff like that. It's like a service
Mhm.
for, I guess, Washington agencies. It's a subscription that lawmakers pay for. And yeah, it is paid with taxpayer money. It is, okay? But guess what? Many administrations, including Trump's, have paid for it, okay? It's a subscription. Like for instance, not that it's the same thing, but so when we worked for KGO, KCBS, whatever, we got the Chronicle and our company paid for it, right? They paid for it. It's kind of like that, right? I didn't pay for it. My company paid for it, right?
I look at it as it's a tool that you
Right.
need to do your job effectively.
Exactly.
You know, we use this product called StreamYard. It helps us show pictures and videos and things
But the
that we
difference
need.
is
And
that
we pay for that.
taxpayers are paying for it. So I have zero problem. Listen,
Mhm.
I have zero problem with them taking it away. You want a subscription? Each person or agency, if you want it, you
Mhm.
pay for it. I don't want the taxpayer paying for it. That's fine. But Trump standing up there and acting like his administration didn't do the same damn thing is a lie. They've been doing it for many administrations. So stop with the BS. They're like, this is the biggest scandal in the world. Oh my God, USAID has been paying all these left-leaning. Everybody's been doing it. You've been paying for subscriptions to news agencies because you want a subscription to a newspaper. It's been happening for a long ass time. If you don't want taxpayers to pay for it, thank you. Save us some money. That is definitely something that I completely agree with.
Well,
Yes,
if you don't want
fine.
taxpayers to pay for that, then what you have to do is hire a congressional aides that
Thank
will
you.
then go through and comb all of the legislation and write up these reports on what exactly is in the legislation and the legislative documents so that Congress people, senators, whomever
Exactly.
can
do the work
knowledgeably
themselves.
vote. That's
Exactly.
right.
But
So
this saves them
Pay
time.
Politico or pay a staff member, but you're going to be
Right.
paying in one
Or
way
you're
or
going to pay
another.
for exactly. This makes it easier. So I would rather pay for the subscription,
Yeah.
but don't use taxpayer dollars then. If this is where you want to cut government waste and save taxpayer dollars, you're going to have to figure out another way of paying for it, or it's
Right.
going to take time or whatever. But stop acting like this is a big scandal because it's not. This has been going on for a long ass time. Yes, taxpayers have been paying for it in one way or another, but stop. And so this is what I hate. And anyways, like Trump has paid like his office specifically paid like $97,000 between 2017 and like 2022, whenever during his administration for Politico, the Politico Pro thing on the
was his
same
prerogative.
website. And it's
If he
like,
didn't want to
dude,
pay for it, he didn't have to pay for it. It's not mandated.
exactly. So, anyways, he's full of shit. Anyways,
Should we
but
needle drop?
let's go
Future
again.
of promise for our people and for ourselves. You know, we have the most important people in the country in a true sense here because you're the ones that are going to make the decision. You're the ones that
The
are
prayer breakfast.
leading us into so many different things, whether it's the right air control system or the right size military or what to do and what not to do. Most important people. And many of you are very religious. I know so many of you are very religious. And I just think that our country has been so badly hurt. We're very hurt by what COVID did to religion. It really hurt it badly. People couldn't go to church for a long period of time.
Not like he went. Ever.
Even going outside, they were given a hard
I mean, he
time.
never
And I'm
went.
not blaming anybody for that, but it was very hard to gather. So they started into women's sports.
Oh God, now we're on to women's
And
sports.
you talk to them, and it says, you know, I don't understand it. I think it. I don't understand how the problem ever got started in the first place. It just seems so simple. But he's a good person and just believes it. And just believes it. Not going to be easy to convince him otherwise. So where is a middle ground? It's hard to have a middle ground. There's two ways. I mean, you can either do it or you can't. But I think a lot of good things are going to happen. You know, a lot of people might be surprised to hear me say that of all people, but I think a lot of good things are going to happen because our country's got some big headaches, but we have tremendous spirit.
You're
right
one of
now.
them, buddy.
The spirit
Yeah,
is
the
as high
biggest
as it's
headache of
been.
all.
It was up 49 points this morning. 49 points. It's never been. It's the biggest increase in the history of whatever the poll was.
It's the biggest ever.
So the spirit is there. That's a big
Jesus.
factor. That's probably the hardest.
All
Didn't
right.
work out
Oh,
too correctly. A lot of
Okay,
things
hear
have
you.
been found out about that. But so I got forced to run again, and I ran again, and now I have the Olympics, I have the World
Forced
Cup,
to
and I
run
have
again?
250. So I said, this is interesting, you know.
Well,
When
he
I got
goes
him, I
on
said,
and
you know,
on.
the only bad thing about the Olympics is I won't be president. The only bad thing about getting the World Cup, I worked hard to get the World Cup because everybody wants it. Everybody wants the
Oh,
Olympics.
geez.
But the
Like, this is what he wastes his time on.
And now he's going to be at the Super Bowl. You heard about that, right? He's going to
Yeah, I
be
heard
at the
about that.
Super Bowl.
Are we done with him or should we keep going?
Yeah, let's take him off.
Yeah.
So did you, just to do a little sidebar on the Super Bowl? So
Yeah.
you heard what Travis Kelce said about him being at the Super Bowl, right?
No, what did he say?
Now I don't know. I know exactly how I feel about this, and I'm sorry, man. You would be sitting in the doghouse if I was Taylor Swift. He's like, it's a great honor for President Trump to be at the Super Bowl, dude. The president says he hates your girlfriend. Literally tweeted it out to every freaking American out there. I would have just said no comment. Like, you don't have to comment on everything. I mean, I guess like during the Super Bowl, like obviously you have to sit there and everyone's going to ask you a bunch of questions. And what are you supposed to say? Is it a problem to say no comment? I mean, I guess what would you do? If you're Travis Kelce, I guess if you say no comment, that's going to draw so many comments. I don't know.
I'm really surprised that he said it. He must have been very much on the spot. But even if he was on the spot, is there something else he could have said? Yes, I heard the president is coming.
I
It's
did
always
hear
an-
that. I did hear
always an
that.
honor to
Yeah.
have an elected official here. Or I did hear that. Yeah.
I would
Something
have
like
said,
that.
yeah, I did hear that. Done.
I have to see the sound of how, like, what his
Yeah, let
face
me see
looked
if I
like
can-
when he said
But
it.
it's like, dude, like he literally said he hates, tweeted, I hate Taylor Swift.
Saw
That's your
something that-
girl, man.
No, yeah. Taylor Swift is not going to be pleased by that. I saw something on YouTube a couple of days ago that made me love Taylor Swift even more.
What?
By the way, it's Robin's fault, Robin in the chat, that I am now a full-fledged Swiftie. But I saw it, and I think it was during the first Trump election,
Okay.
where it's Taylor Swift on a couch, like in a dressing room.
Okay.
And she's talking to her dad, and someone's videotaping her, and she apologizes to her dad, and she says, Dad, I can't, God, I need to find it. She said, I can't stay quiet anymore. And I know it might
Oh,
cause
yes.
people
From Miss Americana. Yes. I
to,
remember that.
to not like me, but I can't stay quiet because he's taking away the rights of women. He's taking away the some law about stalking. And she said, and she pointed at herself, like, I'm being stalked. So it's hurting me.
Exactly.
Like, Dad, how could you support someone who's putting your daughter in danger? And she just told it like it was, and she was so passionate, and it was so amazing. I don't know if you're looking it up, but man, that video was powerful. And it made me think, you know, this is a person who can be true to herself. And I hope that if her boyfriend, and they're so cute together, and I just have such high hopes, I hope that he's treating her right, and that they're, you know, have some big love story, because I just find myself as a mom.
I like them as a couple.
This woman. Yeah.
Do you think that if they show Trump, they'll show Taylor Swift in like a split screen? I'd be like,
if I'm Taylor Swift, I want nothing to do with Trump, and I want to not even be associated with him, and I want not to be on a split screen with him at all,
so
ever.
Here it is. This is Travis Kelce, and it's going to start right off. They've already asked him. The president's coming to the Super Bowl, so here's his response.
That's awesome. It's a great honor. I think you know, no matter who the president is, I know I'm excited because it's the biggest game of my life, you know, and having the president there, you know, it's the best country in the world. So it's a great honor. I think, you know, no matter who the president is.
So, okay. I mean,
he redeemed himself in my eyes. No matter who the president is, what he's talking about is having a president, which has not happened before, that a president has attended a Super Bowl, a sitting president. So he's saying having the president, no matter who it is a great honor. And that means what he's not saying is having President Trump is a great honor. He's saying having a president, no matter who that person is a great honor. And so I don't think she can be mad at him for that.
Now, Kim says, if they showed Trump, I want the entire stadium to boo, but unfortunately too many Trump are football fans. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking, well, so it's in New Orleans. I mean, Louisiana. I just don't, but again, it draws people from all over the country, right? I think that Trump thinks he's going to a friendly place, right? I don't necessarily think that I don't think that Trump would go to a place where, God, but that must really increase security even more if the president is going to the Super Bowl, right?
Oh, yeah, sure it is. Yeah.
It's going to be an S show.
Oh, look at this. A lot of people say, what a wimp. Heather says, sellout coward.
See?
Ooh, what did you want him to say? Did you want him to say, Trump has come out and said horrible things about my girlfriend?
My girlfriend's not going to like it.
And honestly, I don't care if he comes or not. I won't be playing for him.
I'll
playing
be
for my
focused on
team
the game.
and playing for my Chiefs fans or whatever. Like, what could he possibly say?
That's not going to make any bad headlines, you know?
That phrase, no matter who the president is, redeems him in my eyes. But I don't know.
Maybe I think it redeems him in Taylor's eyes. You know what I mean? I think the minute he says it's a great honor, he heard Taylor in his head, and he's like, I think that's why he said it. You know what? God.
I love Heather. Heather, I adore you. She said what he should have said is it would be a great honor for any president but the current one to attend.
What if he is a Trumper?
Oh, no, he's not. He can't possibly be. She wouldn't date him. She's too strong and passionate in her convictions. If he was a Trumper, she'd be like, you're out. I can't possibly be with you. And I think the fact that he said no matter who the president is shows he's not a Trumper. If he was a Trumper, he would have, who's the 49er player that was like with the Trump hat and all that? If he was a MAGA guy.
Bosa. Ugh. I love Bosa as a player. I can't stand his politics, though. Yeah.
He would have picked up the torch when asked that question and been like, oh, Trump is great and this and that. He didn't say that. He said no matter who the president is, which means I'm disregarding Trump as a president. And I'm just talking about the office of the presidency.
Yeah. I'm just so disappointed that I feel like I wish he would have been like, I don't know. He could have been like, really? Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know. Like there could have been just a way of him like not responding to it. I don't know. I'm a little disappointed just because Trump talks so much shit about Taylor Swift. You know what I mean? Like, and he didn't defend her at all. But again, at the same time, I understand that when you're put on the spot, there's a microphone in your face. You have to be diplomatic. You don't want to cause any more headlines. And also, you don't want to cause headaches for Taylor also. Like, there is this whole, and I'll also say this, Travis Kelce is not new to the media game. He's done TV. It's not just football. He's done reality TV. He is well versed in this world. So he knows, like, we don't need to cause headaches. Just go with it. So
see, I think what he said was, depending on your leaning, to MAGA people, they're like, oh, Travis Kelce is honored. To people who see through the BS, they're like, oh, he said whoever the president is.
Exactly.
So it was honestly, I think it's a pretty ambivalent
the best way to get around it
for a guy that doesn't want to be political, that never sticks his foot in the political pool.
Yeah.
That was a pretty decent response on the fly.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with you guys. I mean, I'm a person that doesn't mind letting my flag fly and telling you my opinion on whatever it may be. But there are people like Travis Kelce who are in the public eye as a sports figure, whatever, who may not want to stake their claim politically and who just want to do what they do and not get involved in politics. And if that's him, that was a good answer.
Well, speaking of football, because it's, an American game, Anheuser-Busch CEO asks retail wholesale partners to switch domestic beer to American beer. I swear this is giving freedom fries. Is anybody else
thinking of that freedom fries? Because you can't call it French fries because we hate France.
Oh my God. The minute I saw this headline, I'm like, I swear history repeats itself. It makes it so bad. Okay, so Brendan Whitworth is the CEO of Anheuser-Busch. He wants to change how American-made beer is described. He's encouraging AB wholesale partners to change industry terminology from domestic to American when describing beers made in the United States. So if it's categorized as domestic or imported, obviously we know that. In the letter, he says he does not like the word domestic. It isn't an incorrect adjective to use American-made beer. It just doesn't fully capture the spirit and passion that's intrinsically to the American beer industry and its brands. This is just all Trumpy. You understand, this all has to do with the trade war that is going on right now. The trade war that is completely Trump made. Like, this trade war, I was watching The Daily Show and I almost peed my pants. Like, Jon Stewart, I love that he's back. But he was like talking about, like, obviously Trump's hated Mexico forever, right? But like Canada and like all of our partners, but he was talking about Canada. He's like, Canada's been there like all of the time, gone through every war with us, every little thing. Like, why are we beating up on like the nicest friend that we've ever had that's never done anything to us, right? Like, it's just so stupid, these trade wars that we've been having. And I just think that this whole thing is all because of that. It's just,
speaking of
a response.
Beer for international versus domestic beer, I feel like Trump is the guy who moves into the neighborhood on your street, and it was a peaceful neighborhood.
Yeah.
Everyone got along.
Yeah.
There were no problems. Everyone minded their own business. Sometimes we did a little business together, but it was all peaceful and good. And then this guy moves in and there's beer cans on the lawn and there's loud music at night and people are pissed off and calling the police because of noise complaints and there's dogs barking. Like, this is what just happened to the neighborhood. We had no problems with Canada. They're a lovely neighbor.
It's Canada. It's Canada.
The nicest people in the world. How do you pick a fight with Canada? We were even friends with Mexico, despite people coming over the border. We were like, hey, Mexico, we're your neighbor. And you know what? Guess what? Never happened in America. Well, other than Pearl Harbor, right? When wars happen, knock on wood 1,000,000 times, there aren't bombs dropped on this country. There's not fighting. We
used to have allies. He's picking on our allies.
We're surrounded by allies until you come in and start throwing beer cans on the lawn and riling up our allies. Don't do it.
He doesn't like our friends. He's beating up on our friends, and for what good reason? Like, stop. It's it sucks. But yeah, if you haven't seen the Daily Show, like Jon Stewart, it's funny. I mean, it's sad, but it was so freaking funny, the whole Canada bit. But again, and then this whole egg thing, the egg heist. You've been following the whole egg heist, the 100,000 eggs that are worth $40,000 in Pennsylvania were stolen. I don't even know how you hide that many friggin' eggs. How do you hide that many eggs?
Well, you have to disconnect the truck, the refrigerated truck, probably, and hitch it to a different.
Do you have it?
semi-truck
Are you the heist?
Yeah, this is how I would do it.
Are you hiding it? You are the egg capital. I mean, do you have them in Petaluma?
How do you quickly move 100,000 eggs? How do you quickly move them without breaking most of them? You can't do it.
Exactly. And they haven't found them yet, which I think is absolutely hilarious. They're delicate. I mean, it's not like you can like throw them in the back somewhere, right? I mean, you'd leave a trail of like yolk everywhere, right? I mean,
thank you for acknowledging my egg, the town I live in, and my
your egg knowledge.
My egg knowledge, yeah, my egg expertise.
I'm like, there would be some sort of trail of yolks, like but I love all the headlines.
Like
I mean, cracking the case, all this sort of stuff. It's so funny. Heather's like, duh, you sit on them.
I thought the price of eggs were coming down, Nikki, but people are now so desperate for eggs, they're stealing them.
Oh, they're stealing them. And now people are making videos in other countries of how much they're paying for eggs. And it just to make fun of the United States and how expensive our eggs are. And then you heard what the Waffle House is doing. They're putting a 50-cent surcharge on every egg that you order. 50 cents is a lot.
Yeah.
I don't eat eggs when I go out to breakfast because I always feel like I can make eggs at home. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So whenever I go out to breakfast, I always indulge in something that I don't make at home. So for instance, I'll get chicken fried steak. I'm never going to make chicken fried steak at home. That's not going to happen. Or something that's just difficult. I sometimes do. I'll sometimes get a scrambled egg bacon sandwich if I'm just not that hungry, but then I'll just eat at home. But yeah, 50 cents per egg. I don't think anybody's getting the 3-egg breakfast anymore if you're going to go to Waffle House anymore. Cracker Barrel, though, is using the Waffle House thing, and they're saying, no. Apparently, they're saying egg surcharges, never heard of it. Anyone who orders eggs through February 12th will receive double pegs in their rewards program to help them earn free food. I don't go to Cracker Barrel is not a thing here, so I don't know what that means, but apparently it's a rewards program thing, so they'll get double pegs. I guess that means you get free food, so whatever.
So if you're in the north, if anyone's in the North Bay, it's worth a stop to Skippy's in Petaluma.
There you go. Go get your
Skippy's is a restaurant supply place, but it's extra local. And they have dairy. They've milk and butter and all the dairy products, and they have eggs. And they'll sell you eggs, all kinds of different eggs. But in one section, they have eggs that maybe have been cracked, but the membrane is still intact on the inside.
Oh, okay.
And so you put them in your fridge. They're totally good for
fine.
Like a regular egg. And they're so cheap. So if you're in the North Bay, check out Skippy's. It'll save you a bunch of money on dairy. Even during the pandemic when no one could buy flour, because they're a restaurant supply, that their chain goes a different way. They had flour. They always have everything in there. Skippy's, check it out. No, they're not paying me to say it.
Kim, what kind of omelet are you paying $20 for? What the hell is in your omelet? There is no way I'm paying $20 and there's not a filet mignon in my omelet.
She's
what the hell?
In Marin or San Francisco going out to a fancy brunch.
What are you doing for an omelet? Yeah, I'm not an omelet eater. There's no omelet. There's no world in which I'm paying $20 for eggs and stuff in it. That's just not happening. Sorry. You better put a good recipe in the comment section, Kim, because there's no way that I am paying $20 for that. The Berkeley Bowl, Liz says, has plenty of eggs. Sandy, I also buy free range. I buy the expensive eggs. But you know what? I don't eat that many eggs. I am not one of these homes that goes through eggs a lot. So I'll buy a carton of eggs. It'll last me. I'm one of those people that has to check the eggs if they're still good or not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. And then I still eat it. I don't care. I don't care.
We go through a lot of eggs at our house.
No,
A
I'm not
lot
a
of
big egg
eggs.
eater. I'm not a big.
Uh-huh.
I don't usually eat breakfast. So, I'm a lunch to dinner person. I have coffee
Yeah.
for breakfast and maybe a waffle with peanut butter on it if I'm eating
We
anything
love
in the morning.
eggs,
So,
scrambled eggs, skillet breakfast eggs. My husband's a baker. He's constantly using eggs. Eggs
yeah,
and chocolate
your
cookies.
husband's
Eggs
your husband likes to
all do.
cook.
So he
That's
goes to
true.
Skippy's and he'll buy like a thing, there's 3 things of
Oh, the
24 eggs.
slat.
We have eggs,
Yeah.
the flats of eggs, and he walks away and he's paid almost nothing for them. It's great.
Oh, well, there you go. At least he watches his money. Yeah,
Mhm.
Kim says breakfast's $18 these days. It's not at home, Kim. Learn how to make your own omelet. Ricky says, I love to cook, I love to eat. I rarely eat in the morning.
SJ Lola, when I need to buy eggs in the winter when my chickens aren't laying, I only buy the Clover free range. All
Oh, I
right.
have to find the story. People are renting chickens. This is the story that I was seeing, and I forgot to put it in the line. The secret to beating high egg prices. I just saw this on NBC.
Mhm.
People are renting chickens. So, and don't you just love, by the way, that Trump's spokehole did mention Biden killing all these chickens and did not mention the bird flu? Like, he's like that Biden was there with like his AK-47 just killing all these chickens for no damn good reason. She's such an idiot. Okay, so apparently, obviously because of the bird flu, obviously we're short of chickens. And so there's something called Rent the Chicken. The owner says we bring the chicken coop with 2 to 4 egg-laying hens to someone's backyard. 2 hens lay about a dozen eggs a week. 4 hens lay about 2 dozen eggs a week. It's coming into our busy season, so this kind of mimics the 2023 when there was the avian flu coming along. And they say because of the skyrocketing price of eggs, this is becoming even more popular.
No.
I don't know if I want to rent have hens in my backyard.
So
But
I
if
wouldn't
you
mind
like it.
I don't mind the idea of it,
Mhm.
but I struck by it. I'm scrolling back to see who said it. Someone said, "Yeah, that's great to have your own hens, your own chickens laying eggs until they all get bird flu." And I don't know about you, but I don't have a test kit for bird flu at my house. So how would I know if those eggs are infected with bird flu or not?
Well, okay, so now remind me. I know that so in Nevada they just had the second strain of bird flu in dairy cows. That was the new thing. And of course we're getting rid of all these agencies that are going to track these sorts of things. So it's all up to us, right? But is it here? Like, I know it's in California. We've had bird flu in California, but is it like in San Jose? Like, is it around us?
It's around us. It's all over the place. It's in the Central Valley where farm workers have been diagnosed with it. It's in Petaluma where thousands.
Can we do a COVID test of our hens before we get them?
Chickens had to be destroyed because of the bird flu. They're killing these.
Is there a
birds by
test?
the thousands. Well, I assume that there's a test when you're running a professional operation or even a small farm. People have to come before you sell anything and make sure that
How is it transmitted? By air?
It can be, I don't know if it's by air or how, but I know that there can be birds in the wild that have it that then transmit it to farm bird populations. So you could have 2 chickens or in your backyard, and because they're out there in the open, they could get it as well. I don't think they're immune.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I mean,
I don't know enough about how it's passed from bird to bird, but it must
now
be.
if a hen has bird flu and lays the eggs, am I allowed to eat those eggs or no?
I wouldn't think so. That's
Right?
why they're
No?
that's why they're destroying chickens by the hundreds of thousands across the country. Yeah.
So the eggs are bad. Yeah,
Well,
it's like
yeah.
mad cow disease, right?
I mean, maybe you won't get it, but then again, do you want tainted eggs?
No, I don't. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody like posted the other day, they're like, we're going to be painting potatoes for Easter this year, guys. Like, I stopped painting eggs. I stopped doing that a long time ago, but
Yeah.
because my kids don't like eggs and I'm wasting eggs. So I'm like, we're just doing plastic eggs. Tammy says, if a tainted owl flies over your chicken and poops. Oh, interesting.
It's a big deal because here in Petaluma, you can be living in a regular subdivision and have chickens in the backyard. There's chickens everywhere. They're even walking down the street, random chickens. They came from someone's house.
Right.
So,
I know people like it, like literally a couple blocks from me that have chickens. I mean, they get their eggs and everything like that. So, I mean, I have no problem with people having their chickens. I just didn't know if there was a test for it. Like, can you check your chickens every day? Can you put little beak masks on them?
No,
like
we need a chicken farmer to come on. I need to call somebody.
I mean, how do you protect your chicken? Is there a way of protecting your chicken? Can you put a mask on it? Or like a thing over your hen house? I don't know. How do you protect your chicken? I don't know. And I just, yeah. Yeah, teacher Lori's like, Easter will be plastic eggs, so oil companies will be happy. You know, it's just, I finished that Landman show.
I like that show.
It makes you realize. I will tell you this. If you watch Landman, makes you feel like you can't do shit about climate change. It really does. Makes you feel like, why are we even trying? And with this administration, it really does. You know what it also made me realize, Kim? When they're in the boardroom, right, talking about it, and Madman guy, what's his face? It really opened my eyes. You know, when you talk about people like, how do these guys live with themselves? You are in this business that's destroying the environment. And he gives this big, John Hamm, that's his name. He gives this whole speech. He's like, we're in the business of drilling for oil. Like, why are we talking about all of this stuff? It is this kind of, you know, laser focus on what are we doing and stop having other conversations. And that is what they're talking about. If anybody hasn't seen Landman, it's basically about oil drilling and this whole business, right? Billy Bob Thornton's in it, John Hamm's in it, Demi Moore's in it. It's a really good show. But anyways, they're talking about the oil business. And there's this scene, there's many scenes, but there's this scene in the boardroom where they're talking about how unpopular oil drilling is because of the environmentalists and how it's going to be fading away. But then they also talk about how petroleum, you can't spit basically without touching a petroleum product. And it is true. And how if we took away petroleum, our lives would be fundamentally decimated.
One of the things they said, one of the comments in that show was, if there's no demand, we won't make it. It's the long, you know, as long as people are buying it, then we're going to supply that demand.
Exactly.
So
stop using it.
The consumer is, if I don't want them to keep, you know, drilling the ground and fracking and sucking the moisture and the lubrication out of the earth, which probably does something really good to make our planet last, then I have to change my ways.
Exactly. I mean, and here's the thing, and I know this is a terrible analogy, okay? And I'm gonna preface this by saying it's a terrible analogy, but we, and I'm gonna say humans, but I'm gonna just say Americans also, because we're really, you know, I think we're really comfort people, okay? Like, we like things, right? Like comfort, okay? We bitched about paper straws, right? It was way too hard for us to drink our drinks a tad bit faster or not use a straw at all. Our mouths are perfectly fine, okay? We bitched about paper straws. We don't like anything that's just a bit uncomfortable, right? We don't want to bring our own utensils, right? We don't want to do these things. I mean, some of us do. We bitch about, you know, some of us are really good about bringing our own bags, but then we'll just go back to paying the 10 cents, right? Or the 25 cents or whatever it is for our own bags. A lot of people just don't want to make the changes that are needed. And so the petroleum industry is just like, you know, if you'd stop using it, we won't make it, just like Kim said. But we do it. But I also blame the petroleum industry because they've trained us this way, right? Like, this microphone, this computer, so many things are made with petroleum products in it somewhere, right? You know what? There's microplastics in your fucking brain. So you know what I'm saying? At some point, And I know that's a really depressing thing to say, but it is what's happening. And so I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be depressed, end this on a depressing note, but at some point it's like, are we screaming into the ether about climate change? Is it where we should try to look at it a different way? Is the way we're trying to fight climate change wrong? Are electric cars or solar panels not the answer? I don't know. I don't know if we're looking at it differently, but that show, if you haven't seen it, it didn't give me something to think about, is all I'm saying. It did give me something to think about. It was interesting.
I thought the show, it's a little crass, a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way they
I love
live
Billy
is
Bob Thornton, by the way,
over
but
the top. Yeah. But there were some interesting things that I felt like I learned about that industry. If it's at all accurate. And I was kind of fascinated by it. Okay, I have some information for you. There was an intra-agency risk assessment done in 2010 by the FDA, the USDA, and the FSIS, Food Safety Inspection Service. And they say the risk of infection to humans from viruses like bird flu through the consumption of contaminated eggs is low. And it's because infected hens become sick or die rapidly and they cease laying eggs. So they get sick and they're not cranking out eggs anymore because their bodies are like, whoa. Also because of the safeguards in place, which include testing of flocks and federal inspection programs. And they say this, it is in the unlikely scenario that a bird flu infected egg ends up in a consumer's home, the virus will be destroyed by cooking it fully.
Oh, okay. So I can eat the egg from a hen that has the bird flu.
But cook it fully. Now is not the time to eat cookie dough raw.
Ew. Yeah. Well, yeah, I know it's delicious, but whatever. I mean, how do you like your eggs?
Scrambled.
Oh, that's it? Just always scrambled? So my husband got me into fried eggs over medium, but normally I'm a scrambled girl. Over medium if I'm making like a gooey, like bacon sourdough toast sandwich. But mostly scrambled if I don't want to get all gross and messy. But yeah, I'm just not that big of an egg person, and I'm not that big of a breakfast person. So the egg thing doesn't really impact me unless I'm making, you know what I put eggs in? My meatballs. Cookies if I'm baking. You know what I mean? Like it's an ingredient. It's not something I'm just eating raw. So, or it's like that, like I'm having an egg and I'm just eating an egg. It's something that I have to have to make it in something. So usually it's not. So usually I'll be cooking it. So I probably wouldn't have to worry about the bird flu anyway. But again, to go back to this administration, if only there was an agency that was fully funded that would be following, I don't know, viruses that are going around. And I don't know. I don't trust this freaking administration to be on top of it. He probably doesn't want to even test for it because then it just would go away. So who the hell knows? I don't know. It's just crazy. Absolutely crazy. To kind of switch gears just a bit, I did want to respond. It was Teacher Lori that was sending me, I don't know if you got some of the emails as well, regarding some of the protests regarding the immigration. And for people that don't know, I also work at a school. I asked my daughter if it was Wednesday, I believe, was the walkout. And then on Monday was the day without immigrants. So on Monday, I think we had more than 200 students that did not go to school at our school, which is a lot. It's a lot.
Is that 'cause they're scared of immigration coming?
It was because of the protest. It was the day without immigrants. So they did that in solidarity. And then on Wednesday, it was supposed to be this kind of walkout. We didn't have anybody at our school that participated. I don't necessarily know if anyone at our school organized anything. I did see in the news other schools did. And then I asked my daughter, did anybody at your school mention anything? She's like, no. And then this is my kid, of course. She's like, I think that it was only, and again, just because she's like, I think it was some of the schools on the east side, like there are more of a Hispanic based schools, right? They have more Hispanic students, I should say. And those were the schools that I saw on the news that had done it. Did anybody in your neighborhood or schools? Did you see any of that
message from Teacher Lori as well? And I asked Julia, and she said there was a message she saw that came into broadcast about some type of, okay, I lost my voice all of a sudden, about some type of protest or a walkout. But she didn't think that it was widely spread around because it seemed like not very many people knew, and it didn't look like very many people participated.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah.
I will say on Monday, I did see a lot. And I'm going to share this story. Just don't judge my mothering. And I shared the story with Kim already. So, and I was really upset about it. I was really upset about the story, about what happened. I picked my daughter up from school after experiencing the whole day without immigrants and a lot of kids that I normally see not being there.
Mm-hmm.
And I picked up my daughter from school and I'm driving home. Now, mind you, I live in San Jose, a very diverse city. I am telling you, very diverse. White, Mexican, Black. I'm sorry. I love San Jose. I think that it's honestly, I love my hometown. I think it is one of the most diverse cities and a great melting pot of people. Okay. And I'm driving down the street and I'm stopped at a light and I look over and I can still see his effing face. You know, it's this white dude with a beard. And we're driving and there's an overpass and there's nobody's there, but there was somebody that had tied a Mexican flag on the overpass because it was the day without immigrants.
Right.
And he just rips it down and he's just like folding it up. And my daughter and I are just sitting there and we're just watching him. And I just shake my head and I was mad. I was like, friggin' a-hole. I said it. I was like, friggin' a-hole. So maybe that wasn't the best thing to say in front of my daughter because then my daughter proceeds and he looks over at us and she proceeds to flip him off. So am I the best role model for my daughter in this instance? Yes, I will say yes. I don't care. Honestly, we drove off. Nothing else.
Her sentiment was right. But
I did slap her hand down. I don't, I don't want her to get into any sort of altercation.
Right.
But I'm sorry, like, we made eye contact with the guy, and it's like the flag was doing nothing to you. No. And that's, I think, the sentiment. It's like immigrants have done nothing to you but give to you. And you stand there and walk down the street with your white effing privilege and tear down a flag that did nothing. It didn't do anything to you except express some effing pride. And you couldn't handle it. Your little feelings got a little bit of hurt and you had to tear it down. You had to tear it down. And so I'm sorry. Yeah. I called you an a-hole in front of my kid and she flipped you off. And you know what? I couldn't be prouder. So if that makes me a bad mom, it does. But yeah, sorry. So yeah, I know. Whatever. We drove off. Whatever. Yeah. So judgment.
I don't even care. How angry do you have to be?
Yeah.
To be that person who stops what you're doing.
Yeah.
In the middle of your afternoon or what have you, gets out of your car, goes to take a flag. I mean, just how angry.
It just pissed me off. It just pissed me off.
Don't worry about it. Let someone else have their moment.
Yeah, I don't know. It just made me angry. And in all honesty, yeah, whatever. I did slap her hand down. I did, kind of talk to her. But again, in all honesty, screw that guy.
Look at this, Nikki. Mm-hmm. Searches for abortion on the CDC website, a government website, prompt a suggestion instead that you should look up adoption. Are you kidding me? This is part of this.
Are you what?
I'm not joking. This is part of a new thing where they wipe away all the medical information that they don't want us to know about or have. They've taken away from scientific research any reference to the word trans, all the words that they don't want you to look up, all the words that climate change, gone, wiped, scrubbed, it's gone. And now on a government website, if you look up, maybe you were not wanting to have an abortion, maybe you were just looking up public data on how many abortions there were in such and such a year. Maybe you're doing a research project. Well, you go in and type in this word and they're like, yeah, we'd like you to look up the word adoption instead. No, thanks.
I'm on the website right now. There is a yellow bar at the top of the cdc.gov website, and it says CDC's website is being modified to comply with President Trump's executive orders. Right at the top. Right at the top. That is insane.
He who controls the message, the media, controls the country. And so
That is
the message is being changed. What we are exposed to, it's
well,
like
I will say this. Okay, so I put in
and
abortion.
we're only being fed what they want us to eat.
Okay, so I will say this. I put in the word abortion in the search results, okay?
Mhm.
It does give me abortion. So the first thing it says CDC's abortion surveillance system facts. Abortion surveillance findings, abortion surveillance report. Which would scare the living crap out of me if I'm putting in abortion, if all the things that come up is abortion surveillance. Okay. But still, it's also abortion surveillance. But the right underneath it says also try adoption.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
This is where we are. Wow. I'm telling you. Remember when I said go out and buy the morning after pill? Go out and have some ready and handy just in case one of your daughter's friends needs it. This is the moment. Don't get it if you can get it. This is the message they're sending. He went to the prayer breakfast. He spoke to all the holy rollers. No offense if you're a holy roller, you have a complete right to be that way. You just don't have a complete right to make the country that way, right? And this is what he says. This is what they're doing. They're going to, if we believe Project 2025, and so far it seems to be coming to fruition, we're going to get ready for religious doctrine to be slammed down on all of us. And that means we're going to look up adoption instead. It means that we're going to not have access to the things that our daughters may need. Well, screw that and screw them.
Wow. That's insane. That's crazy. I mean, I don't know, man. It's just crazy. The fact that the CDC has to put that banner right at the top too, right?
Yep.
That's nuts.
I love, who was it that said, Ricky, fine. Show
there
me.
You go.
They are showing.
They're showing you exactly.
Did you hear those people before the election? Oh, when Trump's like, I want it to be a state issue. I don't want to take abortion away. All these things, the right to it or whatever away. He lied. He lied because he wanted to get your vote. He's lies about a million things. And now I hope those people that were like, oh, he won't really do that. He's not going to do that. I hope they're like, whoa.
You know what I think would be a great visual for people, and this is the thing with Democrats, is I just don't think that they were getting criticized. I don't know if you saw Chuck Schumer, he was getting criticized for this like on the steps like rally that they had, and I don't know. We need more AOC. We need younger, whatever. They have a messaging problem. We should have like the huge concerning bullet points of Project 2025, and every single time they do something, big check.
I completely agree.
Check. And we should just have it constantly on replay on every social media platform. We should be paying tons of money to have it splattered all over everything.
Like during COVID, when they had the running total of how many people were infected, right? Or how many people had passed away. This is the same kind of serious business, and it is life and death for people. And that, Sandy, freaked me out too. They scrubbed the United States Constitution off of the president's website. I mean, the president's whole point is to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States. Wouldn't you want people to know what the Constitution says? Make it easily accessible, not like we can't find it anywhere we want, but that seems like it, something that would be an easy yes for a website for the president. Please.
What the hell? Exactly. I mean, we need to start, what we need to do. And then, the other thing that I keep asking is, where's all these rich liberals? Where are all the rich liberals? You know what I mean? Like, there's Elon Musk. Where is Oprah? Where is, I love Taylor Swift. You're a billionaire. Where's Selena Gomez? You're a billionaire. We have liberal billionaires on our side.
Where are
you?
Well, Barack Obama warned us all. We got up there, speaking on behalf of Kamala Harris. They all warned us. So maybe they're like, hey, this is what you voted for. Reap what you sow. Oprah warned us. They were all out there warning us. But I think it seems to me maybe that we're so shell-shocked by the honest to God, worse than what we thought it was going to be nature of what's happening, that maybe people are like, they don't know what to do. How do you fight against this craziness?
I mean, do what they're doing. Buy the social media platforms. That's what you do. Buy fucking TikTok. Buy TikTok. There you go. Buy it.
Yep.
Buy it. Be like Mr. Beast. Don't let him buy it. You buy it. Buy it. I don't understand. Like, consolidate your money and buy it. I don't know. Do what Elon Musk did. It seems like they're laying out a freaking blueprint. Do that.
You heard that that America, according to Trump, is prepared now to invest in TikTok. So basically, America's buying TikTok. So that means that TikTok and X are our new state media.
Well,
China's
kind of slow rolling that. They are going to want a lot more because they're going to realize they want a lot of things if they're going to give it up, because they realize that it's going to be a competitor to them if they do end up selling it to America. But again, if Elon Musk gets TikTok, I'm going to lose my effing mind, because that's it. That's it. We've lost it. We've lost it, because TikTok is literally where everyone is getting their stuff now. I mean, Twitter was one thing, but Twitter was never profitable. It wasn't. People didn't like it. TikTok. I don't know, man. I'm scared of that. I know Trump did not put his hand on the Bible. He did not. He did not. No, he did not. Why would he? Why would he? He doesn't believe any of the stuff he just said at the prayer breakfast or whatever the hell he was at that Kim played. He doesn't believe in any of that crap. Come on now. Well, there are some influencers that are speaking of TikTok and things like this. I follow this guy on TikTok. He's also on Instagram. His handle is Drinkable Brian. Okay. He's really funny. He does these, like, he always wears, I don't know if you guys follow him. He wears this, like, those like nose things that like help you breathe.
Okay.
It's really funny. But he does these things where he lays out, he has his own whiteboard, like kind of like Katie Porter style, where he lays out everything from rap battles to politics. And he does a lot of politics. He's married to a black woman, but he never shows her. Okay. But he talks to white people because he's a white man, and trying to like kind of reach them on their level. Okay. Anyways, he called out and let me see if I'm sorry, I didn't bring it up and I should have. He called out this realtor from San Antonio, and I saw it over the weekend. And I'm telling you, I don't know why people do stuff for clout. No, not learning their lesson. Like, you should know by now that things live forever. Like, honestly, like, when you do things that you think are going to like just disappear and like no one's going to do anything about it, it's going to catch on. It's going to catch on. And so this woman, Jessica Garza, she's, I'm assuming Mexican, Latina, something. Okay. She does this. She's a realtor in San Antonio, and she does this video that got the attention of Drinkable Brian, who has a huge following. I'm going to play it for you. Remember Elon Musk and the whole grabbing of the heart thing? Nazi salute. That was a Nazi salute. She used it. She uses it in an ad. She does this realtor thing where she walks people through her houses. Okay. This is what Drinkable Brian did on his Instagram page. Here we go.
Out to you.
I promise you it gets worse. She edited this into the end.
For my buyers, my heart does go out to you.
That's all you need to see. Okay, that's all you need to see. So she uses the Elon Musk and then puts her thing, and then she walks through the whole house. Okay. The woman has literally lost her entire social media presence for being a realtor.
Wow.
Why do people do this? This is what I don't understand. Like, I saw it before it went viral. I literally woke up Saturday morning. I'm scrolling on Instagram, and I saw Drinkable Brian had just gotten it. I mean, maybe 20 minutes like he had just posted it like 20 minutes ago. So it was right before it went viral. And I was like, and I saw she still had her Instagram page up. That video is still up. She still had a Facebook page. I was like, give it 1 hour. Within an hour,
Wow.
everything was gone. Why? Yeah, she was. I don't know if she was fired. Okay, I don't know if she was fired.
Was she trying to make a statement? Like, is she an idiot?
Yeah, she was trying to be clever, I guess. I mean, she and so I was watching some of her past videos before she went private and like disconnected everything. She like cusses during her like walkthroughs, like you could have a shit, like a ton of dog shit in this backyard. Like she's like kind of like edgy in some of her realtor videos. So maybe she was trying to be edgy, but like you're Hispanic. Like, I don't know what she was trying to I don't know. I don't know what she was trying to do. But see, when you do stuff like this, if it catches just one person and they don't like it and they send it to an influencer, a la Drinkable Brian, and they decide to share it, you're done. You are done. And all he had to do was make that one video and your career's over. Why do it? Why do it? It's not worth it. For what? For Elon Musk? Like, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know if she thought she was being funny, but what is Elon Musk doesn't give two shits about you. Like, you're not making any sort of extra sales for it. Like, you should have just kept it on the up and up. What does it serve you to be hateful? How does it serve these people to be hateful?
It's like the guy that took the flag down. What did it serve him to be hateful?
Yes, like
all he did was take up his time and make him look like the jerk of the neighborhood. I don't know. What do people get out of it other than some satisfaction of an ugly heart? I don't know.
And this is what always boggles my mind. It's like, and I'm not trying to say that we're better, okay, like liberals or whatever.
I think we are.
But we're not getting canceled. I'm not getting canceled for saying, I don't get canceled by saying that everyone should have great rights, right? I'm not getting canceled by saying that there should be diversity and equity and inclusion. I wonder why. I wonder why I'm not getting canceled for that, right? I'm not getting canceled for not doing certain symbols with my hands and arms. I wonder why.
One could argue that wokeness got canceled when the Democrats didn't win the election, that wokeness got voted away.
But I'm still not getting canceled for it, am I?
No.
Wokeness might be gone, but my wokeness doesn't get me canceled.
Yeah.
You being against my wokeness can still get you canceled. I wonder why that is. If wokeness is canceled, then why did Jessica Garcia get fired?
Sayonara, Jessica. By the way, I have a story that's very similar to this. Have you seen these hats? This is the heartbeat of Tahoe. Did you see this story?
I have not seen this. No.
So you see how it's like an EKG wave, like a heartbeat wave, and then in the middle there's the shape of Lake Tahoe in there.
Okay.
And it's supposed to be this thing where it's like it's called a Tahoe heartbeat. Like your heart beats for Lake Tahoe, right? You want to make Tahoe great. You want to keep it blue, what have you. But the person who is behind the heartbeat Tahoe, and these hats were pretty popular. Lots of people were wearing them, the hats, the t-shirts, the merch, right?
Yeah.
Well, late on the night of Saturday, February 1st, the owner of Heartbeat Tahoe or Tahoe Heartbeat wrote this racist rant on a Facebook post on one of the local pages called South Tahoe Now. He was responding to a letter from the Lake Tahoe Unified School District that was telling the school families, listen, we're committed to the safety and the success of our students, right? Responding to the fears of immigration policies. So he writes this screed against immigration policies at school, and it's pretty ugly. And he gets a lot of backlash for it, and he deletes his comment. as you say, too late. Now people, as you can see here, are setting fire to their hats.
Oh no,
They
yeah.
don't want this merchandise anymore. Stores are pulling it from the shelves. It looks like Heartbeat Tahoe, the company that looked like it was mildly successful, is now gone. More than
Yeah.
21% of Lake Tahoe residents identify as Latino. Many of them live in South Lake. They say this is more than just one person's statement, that not wanting to support this company is about ensuring that racism and discrimination have no place in the Tahoe community. They say he went after the kids at
Yeah.
school.
Yeah,
He
he
went
said, since
after the
when
kids.
is it the school's obligation to make kids feel safe at school when their parents are criminals?
Right. That's what he wrote. And Ace Hardware in South Lake Tahoe pulled their inventory of Tahoe Heartbeat from the store. Others have done as well. Made the decision to stop selling it. Ski and snowboards shop Blue Zone Sports stopped selling Tahoe Heartbeat products. Rayleigh's had a display of Tahoe Heartbeat hats in South Lake Tahoe. They're removing the hats. Safeway even is removing the hats. So that's what you get when you are an ugly, nasty person and you go online and you say horrible things. No one's going to want your stuff you're selling.
But
And
see,
the guy then tried to apologize. No, sorry,
of
you showed your
course.
true colors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is nobody made him make that post. Just
That's
like Jessica Garza, these people
Mhm.
are doing it of their own accord. Like you on your own accord are going online in 2025. Like you know how the internet works. Don't tell me I had no idea. You know how the internet works. You know how the world works. Don't start this like, oh, you can't say. You know how the world works. So don't start this. You know how people are. You said this. And not only that, like, where's your friggin' heart? That's how you feel about kids? Like, really? Like, seriously. These kids, they just F them kids, right? F them kids. That's what these people say. They love kids until they're freaking born. I swear to God, these people are such hypocrites. It drives me nuts. Like, F them kids. Republican Party, F them kids. Like, it's just so crazy. I just don't get
Here's
it.
what he wrote. Well, when illegals have children in our school system, our schools inherently become less safe. That's the reality, he wrote. We don't owe these children anything. Yes, we should be kind and compassionate, but we should absolutely explain to each child, your parents are criminals here illegally. And this is what's going to happen. We're done turning a blind eye as a country. Is it until an illegal shoots up the school, an illegal doesn't toilet paper your house, rather lights it on fire, an illegal murders your blah, 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 blah. He says the issue is very real. He goes on this rant.
Wow. Why?
I mean,
who
why?
asked him? Who
Why?
asked you?
Nobody
Who asked you?
him. No one asked him.
And it's not good business either.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Just like Travis Kelce, right? Like, you're a dumbass. You're a dumbass. See, then let's go back to Travis Kelce. He knew, like, I'm just going to say what's not going to get me in trouble.
That's right.
This guy doesn't know how to do it. Like,
no. Doesn't
you're
know
an
how
idiot.
to do it. And
You're
so
an
his
idiot.
business just went pew. And I mean, great.
I have no sympathy for you. Sorry, not sorry.
So, and he was trying to do some like Hawaii heartbeat too. So if you're in Hawaii or if you're in Tahoe and you see the heartbeat stuff, go to the store manager and say, this guy's a racist and you shouldn't be selling this here.
Yeah. Heartbeat, huh? Jeez.
Heartbeat Tahoe. Yeah. Tahoe heartbeat, whatever it is.
Agolf Twitler says 29 undocumented migrants committed homicide in 2023 out of 30 million estimated. 8,843 white people committed homicide in the U.S. out of 170 million white folk. 1 in 1 million versus 1 in 20,000. Maths.
What is it? John Rothman says, don't confuse people with the facts.
No. Undocumented people don't want to because they want to stay.
Right.
Yes, there are obviously undocumented people that commit crimes. Obviously. Violent criminals, violent gangs, nobody wants them to stay. I don't want them to stay. Obviously. But let's stop lumping every single person in with those people. Stop it. It's as if, men commit more crime than women. Let's lump every single man in with every single male criminal. That wouldn't be fair, would it? It makes zero sense. I just don't understand. It's as if we want to vilify people that have given so much to this country simply to distract from the fact that rich people are stealing from you. So just stop and stay focused. That's what we need to do. Stay focused on the problem, which we mentioned at the top of the show, which is Elon Musk is stealing our money. Like, I'm sorry. He is doing some shit and we need to stay focused. So that is just what I wanted to focus on. I'm sorry, but I have to end on that note because this is what we need to stay focused on. They are distracting us. We need to stay focused. It's not Gaza. It's not. I really don't believe that the Gaza thing is real. I don't. I think that he said that because it's another distraction. I don't. I don't believe that all of these different things are it. It is what is going on behind the scenes with Elon Musk. I really do believe it. I'm concerned about the mass deportations because that is actually happening right now. Absolutely. But I don't know what's going on with this banking system. This whole 2025, it is frightening and we need to stay focused. So do not get distracted. And you need to stay focused on 1, 2, maybe 3 issues and then stop or you're going to drive yourself absolutely nuts. All right. So
I have one thing to distract you with. Can I distract you with one little thing?
Please.
Just because it's just the stupidest thing you've ever heard.
Okay.
Have you heard of this company? It's called LG, and they make like washers and dryers and refrigerators. And they had a recall. They had to recall a stove, a certain model of stove, because there was something wrong with the front buttons that you turn, and it was getting left on, or something happened, and it sparked 28 different house fires. This defect in this stove. So they had to recall 500,000 electric range stoves because of the risk of fire. Because again, it sparked fires at 28 houses. Ooh. And so the company is sending impacted customers free warning stickers. Not even joking.
I want a new washer or whatever it is. Yeah. No, I don't want a sticker.
No.
Just in case your thing might light on fire.
No.
What?
3 of the fires killed pets. 8 caused minor injuries. Customers who bought a recalled product can enter their model and serial numbers on the LG website, and in return, they get a free sticker reminding them of the pre-existing safety features.
Oh my God.
You want to do what? You want to have a product
that gets them out of the lawsuit. That's why it just gets them out of the lawsuit. That's why.
Come recall it, stick a sticker on your thing. And because you have the sticker, when our product malfunctions, it'll be your fault, not our fault.
Oh my God. That is so funny.
How about you send a new stove? You send new knobs. You fix the problem. You don't slap a sticker on it and call it good. Are you kidding me?
It just gets them out of the lawsuit. That's all the sticker does. That is all the sticker does. It just gets them out of the lawsuit. That is absolutely ridiculous. I'd still sue their ass. No, thank you. That's too much. All right. I got one more also fun thing to end the show on. The Super Bowl is on Sunday. My husband's trying to get out of us watching it. He wants to go for a bike ride because we don't like the Eagles or the Chiefs, obviously, because they're boring and it's them again. So anybody watching, anybody care? I don't care about either of them. I still want to watch. I have a recipe for an Alfredo chicken garlic bread.
Oh, you're going to be buying some chicken and some eggs.
I don't need eggs for it. I don't think.
You don't?
I don't think there's any egg in it. I don't think. Okay. I don't know. Rev's watching. Anybody else watching? Nope. Nobody's watching.
I don't care about football, but I'll probably tune in to see Taylor Swift.
You're so funny.
I'll just check,
No, okay.
And maybe they'll have a great kiss at the end when he wins, so it'll be really good.
Some people are saying, they're like, is he going to propose? He's not going to friggin' propose, people. Stop it. Stop
No.
it. Well, there's some fun prop bets. I love the prop bets. Okay. So these are the weird prop bets. Will any player or coach cry during the national anthem? I say yes. I think that football players or coaches just get really, really emotional right before the Super Bowl, like whatever. Will a player leave the game or not during due to a concussion, which is a really like crappy thing to bet on, but whatever. If the Chiefs win, will Coach Andy Reid be doused in barbecue sauce after the game? That's gross.
It
I
is
would say
gross.
no.
Is that what they do? Don't they just do Gatorade?
Gatorade.
Or
There's also the
champagne?
one where the color of the Gatorade is a prop bet.
Oh.
I'm watching for the commercials because my Matthew, my kind of hottie, is in a bunch of Uber Eats commercials.
There you go. See,
I'll be
I'm
watching for
T
those.
Swift. You're watching for my kind of hottie.
Yeah,
This is the
exactly.
way it is.
Drake Super Bowl curse. What team will he be representing? The Drake curse is a viral trend on social media that claims whichever sports team or famous or figure that famous rapper Drake supports always seems to have bad luck shortly thereafter. The Chiefs are negative 170. The Eagles are plus 130. So who knows what that's going to be.
Our hands has been slapped. Teacher Lori says, boycott watching the Super Bowl. Numbers matter. I am surprised at both of you. Should we reassess? Because Trump's going to be there? Is that what she's saying? Like tune out because Trump's there?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. I'm a football fan, so sorry.
He's insignificant to me, but yeah, okay.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I get the point.
I get it. The number of beers sold, that's like a after prop bet. How many times will Taylor Swift be shown live throughout the game? Over or under 5.5 times. So
I'm going for 10. She'll go 10. Oh yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Let's see. Is there any other? And then this is a fun one. Who will the Super Bowl MVP of the game thank first? The teammates, the coach, family, God, the owner, or themselves? Those are things that you can bet on. I always think that they thank their teammates. I will always say that their teammates.
The way this country is going, they're going to be thanking God. I'd
like to thank Donald Trump for being here and giving me good luck. No, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you. But yeah, so whether you watch it or not, I think it's going to be a lame ass game. If the Chiefs win again, I'm over it. I'm just so freaking over it. I'm going for the Eagles, obviously. I hope they both lose, as Christian McCaffrey said. Honestly, I hate the Chiefs. I hate the Chiefs because they always freaking win and they're cheaters. They have the refs in their pockets.
Wow.
Yeah, sorry. You're not a football fan, so you don't know that.
No.
They're cheater, pumpkin eaters. Yeah. The refs love them, apparently. They do. They get everything called in their favor. It sucks. Let's do some thank yous, Kim. Luis, they have a $5 donation. Oh, I don't know if we read this. Damn it, Nikki. Get with the program. Yes to DUI, no to DEI. I'm so sarcastic here. Office appointments for convicted criminals and deportation for suspected criminals sucks. Yeah. Thank you for the $5 donation. Jim, thank you also for the $5 super sticker.
You.
Love seeing your face in here. And Ren for the $20 donation. Thank you so very much for the support, you guys. We are 100% grounds funded. Oh, the he who shall not be named before he takes our $20. Thank you very much.
Right. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. But yes, if you want to support us through Patreon, thank you to all of our new supporters. You can find all the ways to support us in the show notes right here on YouTube. If you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching us on different platforms, Instagram, Facebook, right there at the bottom of your screen, theNikkiMaduroShow.com, theNikkiMaduroShow.com. The super chat, super stickers are always live as well. That's a way to support us. PayPal is a great way to support us because they take the least amount of a cut out of the donations, but whatever way you want to support us, we always appreciate it as well. And a delicious way to support us if you want to, and just in time for the Super Bowl, go to antitabbies.com. Use the coupon code NickKim, and you get 10% off every single time you order, and you get to have a delicious bottle of Jamaican barbecue sauce. It's guava barbecue sauce. And today, happy 80th birthday, if he was still alive, to Bob Marley. Delicious guava barbecue sauce. Antitabbies.com is the best. Use the coupon code NickKim for 10% off every single time you order. Woohoo! All right, you guys, thank you so much for being here. We will be back next Thursday with our cocktails, drinking heavily. Thumbs
Click
up
like
to support
on
the
the way
show.
out.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you guys so much. We love you. We will be back next week. Love you. Take care of each other. Don't go crazy. Mwah. Bye.
Bye.
Nikki, you're all so awesome. You're sprout like a beautiful blossom. You're also the best. I really can't rest. You're all so awesome.
Wow. Okay.